Yeah, I think if you speak to many Olympians, or certainly I know equestrian Olympians, they would all have a similar story. They had so much disappointment not to be selected in their first one or two championships, perhaps, and everyone takes it personally. Now, I look back on it and think, thank God I didn't go. I was far more inexperienced than I thought. But being that positive about things, thinking that you are good enough to be selected, is probably a good quality in any sports person. You know, you've got to believe in yourself, don't you, and believe in your horse. Of course, Beijing was disappointing not to be selected on, because I knew I had such a good cross-country horse and such a good jumping horse. But no one can say in hindsight, and everyone has the same story, don't they? So it doesn't mean much. Yeah, of course, relief. The interesting thing I had, though, with London is that I felt I had performed so well in the selection trials that I felt very confident about selection, so that was a really unique situation to me. Well, that's a tough question. Lately I've been performing very well in the dressage. However, you know, I've always considered myself a good jumping rider, and I've always considered myself a good cross-country rider. So it's difficult. I honestly believe it depends on the horses that you have at the time. You know, you might have some that are exceptional cross-country horses, and therefore they might not be top show jumping horses, which often happens in our sport. And finding a dressage horse that can run and jump is a hard thing to do as well. So we're always working on all three, and it's the wonderful thing about our sport is that if you're lucky enough to find one that's good at all three, they're a real superstar. But I tell you, they're rare. Yeah, precisely. I think that if we were to compare, and when I've spoken to my colleagues and competitors, I think you'd find I probably jump my horses quite a lot. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing or not, but I do focus a lot on the jumping aspect of things, because I figure it's a big part of our sport, isn't it? Jumping fences is 60% of it. However, we're always working on the flat work, and us Australians have always been strong at dressage and eventing, you know. So we have to keep up in the game there. Yeah, I would attribute that to Dio Giovanti, the little chestnut that I'd spoken about earlier. He was a full thoroughbred. He was incredibly fast. He was beautiful. You couldn't ask for a horse to be put together any better. He had short pasterns, strong legs, really, really great shape of horse. Very sound. And without him, I wonder whether I would actually be a professional equestrian. I've been lucky to have so many good horses. And when I look back on it now, and I'm looking around for young horses, I feel like it's making my job harder, because I keep thinking, wasn't that a horse I had? You know, when will I ever have a horse that can cross country and gallop like Newsprint ever again? Or, you know, when will I ever have one as careful in the jumping as under discussion and things like this? So there's been so many good horses. But the trick is to just keep doing everything, doing the right thing, and trying to work out what works best with each horse.